And I want to tell you that tonight, on this stage, I'm going to show you every sight, wonder, and miracle that name stands for, including Jumbo, the largest elephant in the world, the amazing great white whale from Labrador, General Tom Thumb, only 25 inches tall from toe to crown, Joice Heth, the oldest woman alive, and the rarest, most beautiful bird in captivity, the Swedish nightingale. Plus a company of hundreds, no, thousands, including marching bands, standing bands, tumbling bands, flying bands, bands of every size, shape, and description, and here they are. Oh, I know what you're thinking. You don't see any nightingales, or flying bands, or 25-inch men. But like I told you, Barnum's my name, and humbug's my game. Wait a minute, where are you going?
Home.
But I've got a point of view to expound, defending the noble art of humbug.
Which I happen to be in complete disagreement with, as it is nothing more than a shoddy defense of flim-flam, so it doesn't behoove me to stick around.
Respect for the speaker, madam, requires that you listen while he sets forth his convictions.
Oh, and respect for my own convictions requires me to set forth, which I am doing.
Then go, go. Isolated dissent is hardly going to deter me. One small voice can quite easily be ignored.
Good day, Mr. Barnum.
Of course, it doesn't help any that one small voice belongs to his wife. Charity Barnum, I'll have a kiss before you leave.
With pleasure, Mr. Barnum. You may not make much sense, but you're beautiful.
In the main ring, ladies and gentlemen, the fight to the finish struggle of humbug versus truth, flim-flam versus fact. Mr. Phineas Taylor Barnum versus his good wife, Charity. An American pageant featuring stirring music, thrilling spectacles, hilarious clowns, and savage jungle beasts. Presenting first, Mr. Barnum himself, in an opening bit of philosophic folderol. Mr. Barnum.
Fact is, my wife's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Give her a mess of hard facts, she's happy as a clam. Serve her up a bit of fancy, she turns up her nose like it was yesterday's fish. And I'll bet she's not the only one here tonight. But whether you end up thinking humbug's a blessing or a curse, you're still gonna buy it. Why? Because every 60 seconds in this world, a delightful phenomenon takes place, which absolutely guarantees it. There is a sucker born every minute. Each time that second hand sweeps to the top like dandelions, up they pop, their ears so big, their eyes so wide, and though I feed them bona fide baloney with no truth in it, why, you can bet I'll find some room to buy my corn, 'cause there's a sure and shooting sucker born a minute, and I'm referring to the minute you was born. Ha-ha! Each blessed hour brings 60 of them. Each time that wooden cagoose shows his face, another sucker takes his place, plunks his quarter on the line to buy my brand of genuine malarkey. God bless him, love him. But don't feel sad or hoppin' mad or cause a scene, 'cause there's a sure and shooting sucker born a minute. And man, you might have been the minute in between. If I allowed it right here in my hand, the smallest living human man, the sight of that is surely worth a dime. If I present an educated pooch who's trained to dance the hoochie cooch, what better way to waste a bit of time? If I import at monumental cost a lady fair whose head was lost while crossing railroad tracks to pick some zinnias, now has no ears or eyes or nose, wears pink tights instead of clothes. If that ain't worth a buck, my name ain't Phineas. You say that's hogwash, well, who cares? You'll buy my hogwash long as there's a sucker born every minute. Each time that second hand sweeps to the top like dandelions, up they pop, their ears so big, their eyes so wide, though my tail is bona fide baloney. Just let me spin it. There ain't no man who can resist me, wait and see. 'Cause there's a shark shooting sucker born a minute. And friends, the biggest one, excluding none, is me. Yeah! Thank you, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, supposing I was to tell you that back there, I got a real live mermaid. Yeah. I wonder how many of you will pay 25 cents to step up here and get a look at her. One? Do I see one? Yep, there's a friendly one there. Do I see two? Yes, there's two. Any advance on two? Yep, there's three. What about the rest of you? Well, you're so educated. You don't believe in any such foolishness as a half woman, half fish, So you're not suckers. You're missing one hell of a lot. Because there happens to be one behind this curtain. Now, I'm damned if I'll show it to you. Wally, I don't think she's et yet. Huh? Feeding time. And, ask her to put on that little blouse I got for her. Don't want you getting all excited when you start tossing the sardines in there. Oh, now you're interested, Sit down, sir, please. See, that gets him on his feet. When he hears Mademoiselle Neptuna's got no blouse on. But, sir, it's the mystical joining of earth and ocean. That's the miracle. Not the fact the little lady has uncovered bosoms. Pearly pink and simply beautiful, though they may be.
Here it is, Taylor, in Mr. Webster's dictionary. Humbug, something designed to deceive or mislead.
That's what comes of marrying a school teacher. They go right to the books. Chairy, I'm talking about the kind of humbug that bunch of pilgrim fathers sold to themselves when they set sail on the Mayflower. The belief in rosy possibilities. The dream, Chairy.
Just one thing, Taylor. This mermaid of yours, what does she actually eat?
Right now she's on a seafood diet.
Seafood?
Yep. When she sees food, she eats it.
Oh, Taylor! Come here. Mr. Webster has this nice synonym for humbug, too. Look, lies.
Well, I want to...
Oh, but don't give up, Taylor. The evening's young, and you still got some rosy possibilities.
In the far range, humble beginnings, as Mr. Phineas Taylor Barnum, making his first appearance in the main tent, turns old into gold. Quicker than you can say, George Washington.
Mr. Barnum.
Mr. Lyman?
Mr. Barnum, you can take my word for it.
What's that, Mr. Lyman?
I am not fooling you. They came by the thousands in Philadelphia. Now, here's all the papers you'll need. Birth certificate, bill of sale, and writs and testimony proving beyond any shadow of a doubt that on June the 15th, Joice Heth will be 160 years old.
She better be, Mr. Lyman. You know why? It's taken every last cent I've got to buy this contract. But from now on, P.T. Barnum presents Joice Heth, the oldest woman in the world.
She'll make your fortune, Mr. Barnum. Just remember Philadelphia!
Philadelphia. I sure will. Okay, Joice. Joice? Well, you must be pretty tired, Joice. Listen, I'll tell you something. We better get to work if we want to eat tonight. Step right up and see her, folks. Joice Heth, the oldest woman in the world. That's right, lady. You can start the queue right in front of the piano, just 25 cents. Lady, don't go away, please. Say, lady, you're not as young as you used to be, but this old gal will make you feel like a spring chicken. Sir, pardon me, sir. Sir, you look a little lonely. Do you like older women? No offense, please. Don't take it that way, sir. No, she's really something special. Promise you better see her now. She can't last forever. She could be gone by next week. Joice! Don't understand it. Lyman said they came by the thousands in Philadelphia.
And walked by the thousands. You've been had, Mr. Barnum. Anyway, what's so special about an old lady? A young lady, that different. Now, if you had me up here 140 years ago, they would have come, all right?
What did you say?
I says, what's so special about an old lady?
No, you said 140 years ago.
Mr. Barnum, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at a nanny. A nanny a long time ago. And she's got this little baby boy bouncing up and down on her knee. George Washington.
I don't know no people named Washington.
George Washington, the father of our country.
I told you I don't know
Joice,
no...
that sidewalk looks a mite hard for us to sleep on tonight. And I'd say there's the strongest possibility of rain, maybe even hail.
What did you say that boy's name was?
George Washington.
Oh, you mean little Georgie? Why, Mr. Barnum, I pretty near raised that boy.
All right, Joice, let's do it. Step it up and see you, folks. Joice says George Washington's nanny.
When you see the shape
That's
of
right,
the
lady.
world
I'm
it
telling you no
is,
lies.
when
You're
the way
looking
it
at the
is
woman who
ain't
raised
what
the boy
it
who took the- When he
is,
chopped down
when
that cherry
folks
tree,
just
remember,
can't
he made the
forgo,
public tree.
and God
Every
I'm
child in the land to follow.
when you take a gander
Joice has
and
George
then
Washington's
you,
nanny.
when you
That's
get the
right, ma'am.
language
She
people
raised him, she fed him, she
when
nurtured
no
him.
seeds
She had
on
the
the
soul of an
song,
angel
I
and the
don't
heart of
wanna
a
be
fury.
ya.
That's it, Joyce, go now.
Anytime
25 cents for a front
he
row seat.
doesn't
Joice
friend
says
me,
160 years of age, so
sure
now
is by me.
25 cents, we
That
take no
don't
for an answer. Sonny, over here,
upset
would you come down
me.
here, please?
Let
Let's go,
him
General
eye
Stewart,
me.
Bramble,
Come and get me. That's fine by me. Hey, don't worry me.
Hey.
When you see the way folks
Like that?
misbehave, when it's all get
Hey.
that they crave, when kids are much too bold and
Join the party
gonna
there.
they ain't even left our line. When you give me
I want you to get in
three,
here.
I don't fight. And up off the ball, I don't wanna be young.
Okay, Joyce, now dance.
I can't dance. I'm 160 years old.
Rain, hail, maybe a blizzard, Joyce.
I'll dance.
She's gonna dance for you. What a game gal. 160-year-old legs. Sell it, Joyce.
Tell it. I can't even give it away.
She's got a great sense of humor. Hasn't she, this old gal? What a funny lady, eh? Hey, Joyce, you're amazing. Yeah. Hey, Joyce, you can really move when you want to. Whoop, steady. Take it easy. That's a good fella. Okay,
Way
got
to
it.
go, Nanny!
Watch it, Joyce. Whoop. Okay, don't worry, folks, don't worry. Talk to me, Joyce, talk to me.
Now let me tell you about the day Georgia discovered America.
That was Christopher Columbus.
I attended him too.
Oh, sure you did, Joyce. You're fantastic. Oh, 160-year-old hips.
Swing it,
Oh,
honey.
Joyce, I wish I could do that.
Oh,
You
yeah.
really can't move those hips, Joyce. Isn't she amazing? Up, steady.
Gonna get me dressed and powdered down. Call myself a hat and go to town. Be every
Sing it,
shade
Joyce,
of
sing it.
Ah, these feet once strolls. Then I'm gonna slip on that ship and a little
On your own, Joyce, on your own.
tell
Go ahead.
myself, oh, my bad problems and
Hey, my goodness.
my hair got silvery ends. When I see all of my friends laid on and cold, thank God I'm old.
Yeah!
Up! Steady, Joyce. Take it easy now. Joyce, you're amazing. We're gonna get you a nice long rest and some hot soup, Joyce. Get that leg on there, sweetheart. That's a good girl. She's worked wonderfully, hasn't she? Joyce, you're fantastic. I want to tell you something. You're amazing, Joyce. You're just a real wizard. Take her a couple of blocks down and give her the kiss of life. But not too much. All right. Maybe I misled them just a little bit. But most of them folks went home thinking they shook the hand that held the rosy bottom of the father of our country. And that's a patriotic humbug. and there's none finer. Anyway, now that Joice was a success, I started signing up other attractions. But of course, I had to find some place to put them.
That's right, Mr. Barnum. I'm selling a full partnership in the American Museum.
Understood, Mr. Scudder.
But I'm warning you, my rock bottom price is $15,000.
And worth every penny of it, Mr. Scudder. The full amount to be paid out of the first year's profits.
What?
And should I fall behind, I will forfeit all my attractions to your good self.
Very well, Mr. Barnum. But I don't want to turn the museum into no sideshow.
I couldn't agree with you more, Mr. Scudder. That is why I intend rebuilding the entire museum and filling all 5 floors with the most educational attractions imaginable, including 3 galleries of art, a lecture hall seating 2,000 people, and in the rotunda, a glass tank containing a living, breathing, spouting great white whale from Labrador.
Great white whale from Labrador.
Just to help you make up your mind, may I present you with this courtesy ticket entitling you and a friend to 2 free admissions upon payment of 1/2 the normal price any Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday between the hours of 12 noon and 1 p.m. Is that a deal, sir?
Taylor Barnum, did you or did you not invite me all the way up from Bridgeport to lunch with you at 1 o'clock sharp? It is now past 2:14.
In the near ring, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. P.T. Barnum faces that most ferocious of all jungle beasts, the female of the species, who has been kept waiting over 1 hour and 14 minutes. Mr. Barnum will face this dangerous creature. Unarmed!
Darn it, Mr. Scudder. Did I or did I not ask you to tell me when it was 1 o'clock? Now, please, sir, no excuses. Just run along, and I'll meet you at the museum with the builders at 2:45. And please, sir, please be prompt.
Very well, Mr. Barnum.
Oh, Chairy. I don't know why I ever took him on as a partner. He's so unreliable. That's what's known as a marital humbug. Only trouble is with my wife, it never works.
Hogwash, Taylor. I believe you forgot that appointment all by yourself. Now, I have to pick up some pamphlets of the Women's Emancipation Society. They have a lovely tea room, and I think we can lunch there.
Chairy, you can't eat there. But McNally's Saloon is right around the corner.
Nonsense, Taylor. You do not need a drink. What you do need is some good, decent food inside you.
Not liver and prunes again, please.
Oh, very well, Taylor. Why don't we leave it up to the fates? Heads the Women's Emancipation Society, tails McNally's Saloon.
Hold on there. I'll toss it if you don't mind.
You go right ahead, Taylor. I trust you 100%.
All any man asks for is a glass of ale. Just one measly glass of ale. That's all he wants, for heaven's sakes.
The state of New York now guarantees a woman the right to make all her own legal and business decisions. What do you think of that, Mr. Barnum?
Oh, I'm all for it 100%. As long as she asks her husband first. And that same husband would love 24 oysters and 2 large ales.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Barnum. Liver's the special today.
I knew it.
With freshly boiled parsnips and a compote of prunes.
It sounds delicious. We'll have 2.
I shall be up for days.
Now, Taylor, you can tell me who this new partner of yours is.
Chairy, that was Mr. Amos Scudder. What do you think? Him and me are going to rebuild the American Museum.
With what? We don't have $100 to our name.
With brass and a little bit of humbug. You'd be surprised how often it's just as good as silver or gold.
Oh, schemes again, Taylor. Schemes and dreams.
That's my nature, Chairy. I told you I was a dreamer the first night I met you.
Taylor Barnum. When a girl meets a man in the middle of the worst thunderstorm of the summer, with bolts of lightning jumping up every tree and barn in sight, and thunder so loud it nearly scares her out of her wits, she don't pay much mind when a man happens to mention that he's a dreamer.
Chairy,
Oh, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't have dreams, Taylor. Oh. Just let them be sensible ones that we can reach.
Chairy, I want to excite people, stir them up, give them a glimpse of the miracle.
Miracle's a pretty fancy word for humbug, Taylor.
Now, that is not fair. Maybe I do put a high polish on the facts sometimes,
Oh, and
but...
I'm not saying that you shouldn't use the imagination the good Lord gave you. But, well, with 2 daughters to bring up, you ought to be using it for more sensible things. Now, I happen to know that they're looking for a new partner down at the Bridgeport Clock Factory. I could be a part of that, Taylor. Write the letters, keep the accounts.
No, Chairy, no! I just can't do that. Tick-tock, tick from 10 to 6 every day with nothing but the occasional bong to break the monotony of 10,000 cuckoos looking out of 10,000 little holes. Every man's got a temperament, Mrs. Barnum, and mine is just not suited to tick-tock, cuckoo, and bong.
I'm sorry, Taylor. I shouldn't have brought it up.
Oh, well, of course you should, Chairy. Of course you should. Why, that's half a wife's job. Bringing up things her husband doesn't want to hear. But a clock factory, well, it's not the right color for me. Just say the name, Bridgeport Clockworks. What do you see? Grays and browns. Step into any sideshow. You see fire engine red, Kelly green, buttercup yellow. Why, it's like living inside a giant pinwheel. It's not for my own selfish reasons. I need all them colors, Chairy. I want to splash them out for everybody in this whole world to see. The colors of my life are bountiful and bold. The purple glow of indigo, the gleam of green and gold, the splendor of a sunrise, the dazzle of a flame, the glory of a rainbow. I'd put them all to shame. No quiet browns and grays, I'll take my days instead and fill them till they overflow with rose and cherry red. And if the sunlit world grows dark one day, the colors of my life will leave a shining light to show the way.
That's all very well and good, Mr. Barnum. But those greens and reds aren't going to be much use if you don't go and get those builders started.
Chairy, I'll be back in 5 minutes, 15 at the most, a half an hour at the outside. Oh, Chairy, look, if I'm not back by 6, why don't you meet me at the museum? It's on the corner of Broadway and Ann Street. You can't miss it. It's got a big purple sign with red letters and gold trimming that says Barnum's American Museum. The splendor of a sunrise, the dazzle of a flame, the glory of a rainbow. I'd put them all to shame.
Get out of here.
She loves me.
It's your own fault, Charity Barnum. If you'd only asked a few logical questions before you married him, you could have put a healthy distance between yourself and some fellow who wants to give the whole world a paint job. Which I'm not so sure it needs. The colors of my life are softer than a breeze, the simple gray of eider dawn, the dappled green of trees, the amber of a wheat field, the hazel of a sea, the crystal of a raindrop are all I'll ever need. Your reds are much too bold. In gold I find no worth. I'll fill my days with sage and brown, the colors of the earth. And if from by my side my love should roam, the colors of my life will shine a quiet light to lead him home.
For children of all ages, a cascade, a caravan, a cornucopia, a cavalcade of cataclysmically comical clowns. Woo!
Rat! What are you doing, for heaven's sakes? I'm trying to... Do you mind? I'm trying to get a stack of bricks here to build. People have no heart, no sensitivity. Don't know what they're doing. Rat! Don't you understand? There's something going on here. What are you doing? Get out of here! Stop! Up! Chairy. Chairy, I've bitten off more than I can chew.
Nonsense.
Have you forgotten we've an opening Monday morning at 9?
We'll be ready.
Do you propose rebuilding the entire museum in 2 days?
I do, my treasure.
But how, my love?
Slowly.
Oh,
The Lord gave each and everyone the spunk to do what can be done, the brawn, the brain, the courage, and the heart. The strength to bend the strongest bar, the will to reach the furthest star. It's just a case of learning how to start. To build a tower up so high to a cloud, you'll anchor build it one tiny brick at a time. Box and multiply till it bounce. A bank can just begin with the thin silver dime. That empty field, it can yield miles and miles of flowers. You don't need no magic powers, just a seed and showers from the floor to the skies. You can soar if you're wise enough to climb. One brick at a time.
Just get a bunch of them on. Okay, guys, you heard what the lady said. Let's get this museum built now. Start with one brick, just one, that's it.
To build the ship that's built to last.
You lay the keel, then raise the mast.
An oak begins with just a simple rhyme.
Right.
An oak with roots of a lily.
Becomes a stick to pick your teeth.
To sharpen up your knife and take your time.
One stalwart chap with a cup and a bunch of hours. He can scoop all the salt from the sea. But open up turning doors to go
brick and place it on the ground to make it stick. Pour water all around. A top of lime, then stir until it's hard. And up she'll climb by inch, by foot, by yard. A sill, a door, a ledge, a window pane. Then drill some more. Raise up a weather vane.
Terrific.
A roof,
Oh, wonderful.
and going slow like this, a splendid edifice can climb. Towering so high to a cloud,
place it on the ground.
and wall,
To make
and brick,
it stick.
and it's hard.
Water all around. A drop
And fly,
of wine.
and a bomb,
And stir
a
until
bang,
it's
and
hard.
begin,
And up
the pin,
she'll climb. By inch, by foot, by yard. A sill, a door, a ledge, a window pane. A drill, some more. Raise up a shout. Hey! Splendid edifice can climb. That's it. One brick at a time. One single solitary brick. One brick at a time. One single solitary brick. One brick at a time. One single solitary brick. Oh! Woo! Who'd be a bricklayer? Oh,
Oh, well done, Taylor. Mwah.
everything about my museum was spectacular, including the price. $1. Now, that may seem a bit steep, but it was worth it. Just look at what I gave them. Quite a lot of Roman terracotta, living lava from the flanks of Etna, statuary, ride a dromedary, see the temple tumble and the Red Sea part. McNamara's band, the fattest lady in the land of pickle, prehistoric hand, a strand of Pocahontas hair. Crow and Stu are going to be showing you some rowing through a model of the rapids in the Delaware. Armadillos, clever caterpillars, reproductions of the Cyclops, retina crystal blowing, automatic sewing, Venus on a shell and other works of art. Educated fleas, a tribe of aborigines, two ladies joined across the knees, the Mona Lisa made of ice. Hottentots with gotten in forgotten spots of cotton gin and night with lot inside, I better see that twice. One iguana, snakes, another fauna, got no bearded lady, but we're getting out when you dug out. Take another bug out, run around the block, run around the block, run around the block, see a new show start. Okay, guys and gals, just one greenback for the thrill of a lifetime in Barnum's Americana Museum.
Oh, Mr. Barnum. 5,000 admissions in one day. Only everybody's going downstairs to see the whale, then upstairs to see the Indians and Joice, Heth, and the mermaid, then back downstairs to start all over again. But nobody's going out, Mr. Barnum. What are we going to do?
Put up a painted sign over the inside of the back door. To the egress.
To the egress?
The egress. Now, don't panic. That's just a fancy word for exit.
Nobody will know what it means.
They will when they get outside. That's what's known as a health and educational humbug. They learn a new word and they get some fresh air. Quite a lot of Roman terracotta, living lava from the flanks of Etna, statuary, ride a dromedary, see the temple tumble and the Red Sea part. McNamara's band, the fattest lady in the land of pickle, prehistoric hand, a strand of Pocahontas hair. Crow and Stu are going to be showing you some rowing through a model of the rapids in the Delaware. Armadillos, clever caterpillars, reproductions of the Cyclops, red black crystal blowing, automatic sewing, Venus on a shell and other works of art. Educated fleas, a tribe of aborigines, two ladies joined across the knees, the Mona Lisa made of ice. Hottentots with gotten in forgotten spots of cotton gin and night with lot of sauna, better see that twice. One iguana, snakes, and other fauna, got no bearded lady, but we get no when you dug out, take another bug out. Run, 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 see new show starts. Okay, guys, just $1. That's all it takes for this. Hey, come back here, you little urchin. Give me my hard-earned dollar. What are you doing running away like that? All right, now don't turn around till I tell you.
Mr. P.T. Barnum, the Grand Master of the High Wire, tries for a triple somersault. And falls, which gets him plenty burned up.
You ready, set, now.
Good Lord, they
real. What's the man done?
A foolish thing, Chairy. Married a hard-headed, tough-talking, cold-eyed Connecticut Yankee who's kept my crazy world from going up in smoke these past 14 years. Happy anniversary.
Oh, Taylor, I might have been foolish enough to marry you, but that doesn't mean to say I can't count. And our anniversary isn't for 6 months.
Not ours, the museum's. Or have you forgotten exactly 1 year ago today we opened our doors to the public? So, go put on your best silks and satins, woman, because tonight I'm going to take you, me, and these pearls celebrating to the Fifth Avenue restaurant in New York City.
I'm sorry, Mr. Barnum, I ain't going to any Fifth Avenue restaurant. The food's too rich, the people's too fancy, and I don't even want to discuss the prices. I am staying right here.
Marital humbug number 2. This one never fails. Now, see here, Charity Barnum. I am married to the prettiest woman in the whole of the state of Connecticut, and it's my God-given right to take her out and show her off if I want to. So, either you go upstairs and get into your best dress at once, or certain very costly anniversary gifts are going to have to be returned. It almost never fails. Charity Barnum, what am I going to do with you?
Put up with me, Taylor, same as I do with you.
We're out of step, we disagree. What's right for you is wrong for me. Together we're apart a country mile. But I like your style. I like your style.
We're out of step, we disagree. What's right for you is wrong for me. When I propose, then you protest. What's my delight? You just detest. Too sweet to fight to ever end my side. But I like your style. I like your style.
Charity Barnum, see what you're trying to do to your husband?
No shouts or quarrels, no blows or tears. One simple thought to dissect and discuss for the next 100 years.
What a lovely plan.
Each blessed day, we sweetly fill with no you won't, and yes I will.
You wonder how we made it down.
Well, I liked your style. Taylor!
Charity Barnum, your husband would love the pleasure of your company right here and now. Unmentionables, for heaven's sakes. It'll make them all dirty. I have to wear
That's
these.
my clean
Oh,
washing.
excuse me, I'm sorry. Hey, El Toro! My favorite toreador, Mrs. Barnum.
Taylor! Oh my goodness, are you all right?
It's that one.
Taylor Barnum. Each blessed day, we sweetly fill with no you won't, and yes I will. You wonder how we made it down the aisle.
How we made it down
Well,
the aisle.
I liked your style.
I liked your style.
I liked your style.
I liked your style.
All right. I will go and change my dress.
But it isn't to show off these pearls to your fancy New York friends. It's because I'm still in love with you, you great fool. And I want one of your damn marital humbugs to succeed.
Charity Barnum, I have never tried to humbug you. Why, I am shocked. Shocked, do you hear me, at you even suggesting such a thing.
Mr. Barnum.
Not now, Mr. Scudder. Can't you see I'm lying to my wife? Mr. Scudder, what the devil brings you all the way out here from New York City at this time of night? Is something wrong, sir?
A fire, Mr. Barnum. Over at the museum.
What?
It's no use. There's nothing left. I'm sorry, Mr. Barnum.
Mr. Scudder, I hope I'm being humbugged, sir.
Alas, Mr. Barnum, you never taught me how.
Now, Taylor, I tell you right now, I don't intend dancing any gallops. I haven't had time to change my petticoat, and it's the same old muslin one. But since the only dance you know is the waltz, I don't anticipate any problems.
Evening's off, Chairy. You know, you celebrating museum what's burned down.
Taylor.
No, you were right. It was nothing but a darn sideshow, anyhow.
Taylor Barnum, for what it was, that museum was absolutely splendid, and I will not listen to anything to the contrary. Oh, New York's not the only place to make a living, you know. Why, there's a whole country out there. And right here, the Bridgeport Clockworks is just waiting.
Darn it, Charity Barnum, if you haven't come up with a solution, there is a whole country out there. Here I am, piddling my life away, corner of Ann Street and Broadway, when there's 24 states never even heard of P.T. Barnum.
But Taylor.
I'll build a new museum, that's what I'll do, and I'll put it on wheels.
But I wasn't thinking
Bring
about
a little
any
red and
24
gold to the entire country.
Oh, the Bridgeport
We can start with a
Clockworks
3-month
is
swing
just
around the
waiting.
east. All I need is one headline attraction and a little capital, because it was your idea.
What?
Because it was your idea, I'm going to put a top line on every ad, entire tour, under the personal supervision of Mr. and Mrs. P.T. Barnum. You are with me in this, aren't you, Chairy? Chairy.
Well, actually, no, Taylor. I don't think I am 100% in accord.
Then everything's all right. We're quarreling again.
I hope I'm not interrupting, Mr. Barnum.
You are, Mr. Stratton.
But our appointment was for 2 o'clock.
I'm kind of busy right now, sir.
Why don't we forget it then? My wife and I have a few moral qualms about your offer anyway.
Monday morning at 9.
Good day, Mr. Barnum.
All right, damn it. Chairy, I have to see him. He's got that headline attraction I was telling you about. You carry on dancing. I'll be back in 2 shakes.
A deliciously droll divertisement as Mr. P.T. Barnum juggles 3 slippery Strattons in the air.
Well, now, Mr. Stratton, what is this about moral qualms?
Mr. Barnum, let me begin by telling you that my wife and I have the highest regard for you. But
to permit you to exploit our son Charles's oddities for such a small sum of money is an offense to the Christian conscience.
Now, the key word in that speech is not Christian. It's small, as in sum of money. Mrs. Stratton, what exactly do you mean when you refer to oddities?
Mr. Barnum, any boy only 25 inches tall from head to toe is a freak of nature.
Well, Mrs. Stratton, Joice Heth is 160 years of age. Madam Josepha has a beard 10 inches long. Anne Swan is 8.5 feet tall. But that doesn't make them freaks. It makes them special. What you call an aberration of nature, I call a gift from God to lift them above the crowd. But since the young man is old enough to make up his own mind, why don't we ask him? Hiya, Charlie. How you doing? He's kind of shy, ain't he? Charlie, I want you to come with me and join my show. Yeah. I'm not going to fool you. No, sir. Tens, thousands, maybe millions of people are going to want to come just to see you. Some to stare, maybe even a few to laugh a little. But most will cheer and tell their children and grandchildren for generations to come that they once saw the smallest man in the world. We'll even find a special name to go with a miracle of your size. Huh. Of course, you've also got to keep in mind the other benefits. Senators, presidents, bishops, all knocking at your door wanting to meet you. Or you can stay safe and snug in that chair for the rest of your life, never moving from one day to the next. Well, that's it, Charlie. It's all up to you now. What do you say? Oh. His little thumb. Why, that's perfect. Tom's thumb. A little skimpy, perhaps. What it needs is a touch of the military. General Tom Thumb.
Ladies and gentlemen of the great city of Philadelphia, for the first time anywhere, the world's smallest man, General Tom Thumb.
I'm General Thumb, just come to town, a Yankee Doodle dandy. I bet your scrapple washed it down with just a nip of brandy. The mayor made me presents rare, the ladies did salute me. First rate I am, they all declare, and all my poses suit me. My success should open up your eyes. Don't judge nothing just by shape or size. Bigger isn't better, taller isn't braver, stronger isn't always wise. Smaller isn't necessarily the lesser, guts can come in any size. Lady luck and favor, just a little shaver over one who's 6'3", brings in any tussle, mops the floor in muscle. Bet your life I'm glad I'm me.
Ladies and gentlemen, General Tom Thumb's engagement has been canceled this evening due to his command performance at Buckingham Palace.
Bigger isn't keener, larger isn't bolder, higher might be low inside. When you need to lean her on a friendly shoulder, narrow's just as good as wide. See the mighty lion sitting there and crying, bitten by a tiny flea. Woo! Man of force colossal, what's he now, a fossil? Bet your life I'm glad I'm me. What's strong in guts may lag along in brains and heart. that handsome Hulk might be a Lilliputian mentally, proving consequently. Though he shows you shoulders twice as big as boulders, if the brain's a tiny pea. If you're in a pickle, he ain't worth a nickel. Bet your life I'm glad I'm. Bet your life I'm glad I'm me. Woo!
Together for the first time, Mr. P.T. Barnum's 2-star attractions, General Tom Thumb. And direct from the Royal Zoological Society of London, a king of all pachyderms, Jumbo.
So awesome, folks are scared to cross him. Nonetheless, I guarantee, smallest Yankee Doodle, if he's in the noodle, beat the whole caboodle using just his noodle. Bet your life I'm glad I'm me.
In the center ring, Mr. P.T. Barnum versus the female of the species, with unheard of, unexpected, alarming results.
But Chairy, he's a phenomenon, I tell you.
Oh, stuff and nonsense, Taylor. Tom Thumb may be the smallest man on earth, but you managed to tell some pretty tall tales about him. What? He is not a general, and his name is no more Thumb than mine is.
I call that trimmings, Chairy.
Oh, and was Joice Heth's age trimmings, too?
It was justice. I merely took all the years most women knock off their age and added them onto hers.
Oh. Well, anyway, it's time you found yourself at least one respectable attraction.
Don't get started on that again, or we'll miss the Chicago train.
We have plenty of time.
I don't think we have, and I'm sure it's this way.
Oh, Taylor. Taylor, the children are with the luggage in the waiting room. You collect them, and I'll meet you on the platform.
Hold on there, Chairy. Collecting our children is what you do.
Right now, Mr. Barnum, I have other fish to fry. The Women's Emancipation Society.
Oh, yeah. The Liver and Prunes Club. What are they doing, following me around the country?
Now, what are those feminist get-togethers, Mr. Barnum? You can't go into the streets without stumbling over them.
I beg your pardon?
Goldschmidt. Julius Goldschmidt. We met in New York last autumn when you saw my tour with Edwin Booth.
Friends, I won't waste time on introductions, as Miss Anthony only has a few minutes between trains, and they're far too precious to waste. Ladies and gentlemen of Akron, Miss Susan B. Anthony.
Look, why don't we have some fun with these ladies?
Thank you, Mrs. Wilson, and good ladies of Akron, Ohio. Now, let's waste no more time on introductions. I only have a few minutes to talk.
There are some of us grateful it's only a few minutes, Miss Anthony.
But a few minutes is all it takes to remind you that the American woman is still a prisoner, huh? and the American home, her prison.
A gold-plated prison from the look of some of you ladies.
Oh, but do not lose heart, for in the hands of the homemaker is great strength. And the boss that rules the home will someday rule this country.
Susan B. Anthony for president.
Crochet classes instead of cabinet meetings.
Baking buns instead of raising funds.
Now, the text of my most recent lecture is contained in this pamphlet entitled Votes for Women.
Votes for women?
What does a woman need to vote for when she can have her husband? What these poor creatures don't realize is they already have all the power they want if they just learn how to use it.
You're so right.
Look, give you an example of the kind of woman I'm talking about. A little lady I'm going over to England next month to sign up. Miss Jenny Lind.
Lind?
She just finished her second command performance for Queen Victoria.
Lind? Oh, Lind, of course. The India rubber lady who can tie a knot in her left leg. Known on the stage as Bendy Jendy.
Why, Miss Jenny Lind is an opera singer, Mr. Barnum.
Excuse me.
And she ties men in knots. A cheek as fair as falling snow, 2 eyes that hold a special glow, a sigh as soft as summer wind, a trembly smile, Miss Jenny Lind. Well, that New York train's almost here. I better be on my way.
Mr. Goldschmidt?
Mr. Barnum.
Taylor, wait until you read what's in this pamphlet. Votes for women, rights of ownership, even letting a woman hold a man's job if she's qualified.
Chairy, I'll make a deal with you. You want a man's job? How would you like to run the rest of this tour by yourself?
And what would you be doing?
Taking a boat ride. Now you're always after me to get hold of a respectable attraction? Well, I've just got wind of one. Jenny Lind.
Oh, the opera singer.
Yeah. Only I have to get to England right away to beat the competition. What do you say?
Well, it's not the same as running something solid like the Bridgeport Clock Factory. But it is a challenge, and I accept. Oh, I better get a move on. Only 4 minutes to train time. Oh, and you better hurry if you want a berth on the next train to New York.
No, just hold on a second, Chairy. Are you sure we're doing the right thing?
Well, Taylor, why don't we leave it up to the fates? Tails, we continue the tour together. Heads, you go to England. Bon voyage, Mr. Barnum.
Uncharted territory, Mrs. Barnum.
I'm equal to a Taylor, and so are you.
Take real good care now. Well, it wasn't too late. I could have missed that train and followed Chairy west, but I didn't. I made the train, I made the boat, and I made the deal with Miss Lind's representatives. And just who humbugged who that time, I have yet to find out. 2 questions remain unanswered. How was P.T. Barnum going to sell an opera singer to the American public? And to them, just who the hell was Jenny Lind anyway? But like that fellow Shakespeare said, what's in a name anyhow? It's titles the public wants. I'll call her the scintillating songbird from Scandinavia. It's not that bad, is it? Maybe you're right. How about the songstress from Sweden who sizzles? No, that's not so hot. Sizzles, hot. Get it? Forget it. No, that was a real turnip anyway. That's it. That is it. A real turnip. The singing Swede. You like that? I kind of like it too. Unfortunately, Chairy had already printed up the handbills, so we were stuck with calling her the Swedish Nightingale. You can't win them all.
For the first time on these blessed shores, the world-renowned Swedish Nightingale. Due to the extremely respectable nature of this attraction, Mr. Barnum's promotional campaign will avoid any sensational claims and rely upon the plain, unvarnished truth.
Miss Lind. Miss Lind? E.T. Barnum, Miss Lind. Welcoming you on behalf of 1,230,000 citizens to the proud city of New York. Oh, excuse me. Did you have a nice crossing?
Wat zei er niet?
Come again?
Verloot, meneer Verstoren ter sprook.
Oh, yeah. She doesn't speak a word of English. Miss Lind, this is the United States of America. Here we speak English.
Engelska.
We're in serious trouble. Theodore, get me a theater. Miss Lind, fellas, get those wagons on. Come on, get a move on, fellas. That's it. Miss Lind, you have to give a concert, Miss Lind, on this stage.
Ja, een concert.
In English, Miss Lind, please, in English.
I know will learn English.
You've got no choice.
Joice?
No, choice.
Joice.
No, not Joyce, choice.
Joice.
Good.
Goed.
Good.
Good.
That's good.
No. No good.
Good evening.
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 Ladies.
Lettuce.
No, not lettuce. Lettuce you eat. Ladies.
Laddies.
Ladies.
Lodies.
Ladies, ladies, ladies.
Ladies.
And.
Ind.
And.
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 Gentlemen.
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 No. Men. Anyway, that'll have to do for now, and anything they can't understand, we'll just charge it off to European style. And don't forget to smile. There's one thing no American can resist, it's the smile of a beautiful woman. No American man, anyhow. I'd better get started. I have to get to the front of the theater. Good luck.
Wat zei er niet?
In English, Miss Lind. Please, in English. I hope you have a good concert. I hope I have a good concert. Quiet! It's the best they've played all week.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Lind thanks you for your kind reception of her program and asks if she might sing one last song. A song she performed at her first concert in Sweden and which she dedicates tonight to a new American friend.
Var etta mig gräns, etta mig tid, kärleken ler och glökar, kärleken vind brinner som eld, springer in din högsta myr. Kärlekens dårskap oss Love knows no rules, love has no time. Love laughs and rhyme and reason, sweeping the stage, mad with sublime, knowing no age or season. Weissamen and fools playing love's game, and to the same sweet treason, love's silver song, swift as a flame, reaches the strongest wall. Love knows no rest, love has no time. Love makes such fools of us. Thank you very much. Thank you. So lovely to see you. Yeah.
Beautiful, Miss Lind. Quite beautiful.
Mr. Barnum, I am a confusion. Many gentlemen ask go with me to the celebration tonight. And I not know which one to choose.
My dear lady, you pick whoever takes your fancy.
Very well. I choose a scholastic person. My English teacher.
My dear lady, now I am a confusion.
Congratulations, Miss Lind. Taylor, the carriage is waiting.
I'll be right along, Chairy.
The mayor of the city also, he asked to escort me.
Miss Lind,
Taylor, please hurry. I want to freshen up at the hotel before the reception.
Of course.
Oh, well, perhaps another time.
Chairy, look, got me a bit of a problem. The box office receipts have to be counted again. The darn bookkeeper messed things up. Why don't you take the carriage and I'll join you later?
This bookkeeping, couldn't it be done tomorrow, Taylor?
No, Chairy, it can't.
Very well. I'll see you when I see you. It was a great success tonight, Taylor, and I'm very proud of you. Good night, my darling. Good night, Miss Lind.
Chairy, wait! Miss Lind, Well, damn it! Why shouldn't I take her to the reception? Why shouldn't I? Hell, it's just for a few hours. All my life I've been selling the dream to everybody else in the world. Isn't it time I got to look at it myself? I'm a man. I got the price of admission. I want to see what's going on inside the tent. Staying home, living day by day. Maybe safe, but it can't be duller. Seeing things only black and gray. When the world is alive with color. Doing just as your neighbors do. Maybe wise, but it ain't so clever. Every man has a dream or two. Let them go and they're gone forever. Out there somewhere just out of sight. There's a world ablazing with light. Ain't each man alive got the right to stray just a mite from the straight and narrow, shoot through the night like a flaming arrow, turning back should the highway bend, turning down every chance you're given, takes the risk out of life, but friend, how the hell can you call that living? Staying put in a pumpkin shell is a bleak and depressing habit. There's a ring on the carousel, and it's yours if you'll only grab it. Out there somewhere just down the line lies a world of glory and shine. 1 square foot, there's got to be mine. Once in his life, every man decides. Once when he stands where the road divides. Once on a hill as the morning grows. Once, if he will, he can see those fires glow, flags streaming, spires grow, towers gleaming. In a land where the dawn is clear, in a sky where the sun's forever, on a plain where it's spring all year, and the dark of the night is never. Somewhere out there, just out of sight, there's a world that's shining and bright. Ain't each man alive got the right? The past.
In the main ring, the latest international sensation, the rarest, most beautiful bird in captivity, the Swedish nightingale.
Once in his life to behold at last.
And Mr. Phineas, Taylor, Barnum in their amazing ascension act with gorgeous pyrotechnic display.
With his own 2 eyes, what lies out there?
Salute celebrating Miss Jenny Lynn's 50th concert in America, featuring the proud citizens of Washington and the American Marching Band. With the most majestic manner, you'll remember all your life.
Comes Benito, comes saxophone, sophomore comes fly.
Trampling loud, woodwind sighs, trumpet shout, and drums reply. With a crash and a bang, and the whole command of the Yay! Woo!
Watch the fellow with the big bass drum go by. Ain't you glad that you see? Hear the tuba play that old papa, oh my. Ain't it driving you crazy? Don't you be so darn lazy. Better hurry and join that big parade. Come follow the band. Wherever it's at. Let hold of your feet. Hello there. Why, what are you doing? You little runt! I'll shoot you in your hands! Yeah! The Italian of brass has and catch the line with their sight that's sweeter than that.
Ladies and gentlemen, good citizens of Washington, and esteemed members of the American Marching Band Society, President and Mrs. Fillmore respectfully inviting you to join them on the lawn of the White House this evening to celebrate the first appearance of Miss Jenny Lynn in our great nation's capital.
Up out of your seat!
Up out of your seat!
Down off of the stand!
Down off of the stand!
Step out to the street! Beat the bugle place! The sound of you remember all your days! And when you see the leader proudly raise his hand, just follow the band!
hand, wherever it's at. I'll let both of your feet beat time to the drum.
Mr.
Let your
Barnum,
heart
sir.
go rat-a-tat-tat.
Mr. Barnum, sir.
A flag in your hand, a plume in your hat. Battalions of brass, pass and catch the light.
Mr. Barnum, sir, it's almost 6:15.
Is there a sight that's sweeter than that?
Oh, Miss Lind asked me to remind you that the reception is at 7 o'clock sharp. And she says, since President Fillmore's a stickler for punctuality...
Damn it, Wilton, don't I get one evening off? Whole 6 months of this tour has been nothing but tea with the president, supper with the senator, reception for the chief justice. When do they find time to run the country? Tell you, I'd give up the whole thing just to get away from them.
Oh, you don't mean that, Mr. Barnum.
Oh, yes, I do. Matter of fact, Mr. Goldsmith's been after me to buy Miss Lind's contract, and I have a good mind to sell it to him. I was humbugged into thinking I needed a respectable attraction. Humbugged myself into thinking I needed some more color in my life. Now look at me. I should be being respectable with someone I really love. It's a miserable state of affairs, if you ask me. A miserable state of affairs.
But I thought you and Miss Lind were,
Wilton, I want you to send a wire to Mr. Goldsmith. Tell him I'll see him in New York the day after tomorrow. Another to Mrs. Barnum, telling her if that coin comes up heads, I might just be in Bridgeport end of next week. None of my female of the species humbug seems to pan out, but I'm too old a dog to change now. Never heard of such carryings on, and in public too. It's a disgrace if you ask me, a downright disgrace.
Oh, Phineas, are you muttering again?
Muttering? Me? Absolutely not. I think muttering is the height of impoliteness.
Then I'll just ignore it.
I got something to utter, I utter. I might splutter, praise the Lord, I don't stutter. And at times I tut-tut-tutter. But I never mutter. I used to mutter. I used to have a mother. But I think she loved my brother. Wilton, how many times do I have to tell you to keep your hands out of my pants?
Oh, I bet I know what this is about. The way the French ambassador smiled at me last night.
Wrong. What do I care if some weaselly-looking Frenchie smiles at you? It's the way you smiled at him. One of your number 2 special trembly ones?
Oh, Phineas, I am a soprano, and we flirt the way impresarios mutter. Anyway, what sells for a goose is sells for a gander.
What are you talking about?
The letters.
Letters? What letters?
Long ones. Daily. To a lady in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Now, if you are willing to give up these letters, I might be willing to give up my trembly smiles.
Jenny, I want you to know I'll never forget you.
It has been a lovely 6 months. Jag önskar dig allt du drömmer om, Phineas. In English, I want for you what you want for yourself.
That's a kind wish, Jenny. All I've got to do is figure out what the devil it is I want.
Well, At least we know what it isn't. This game of love amuses, unless of course one loses. When do you think you'll be leaving?
Oh, I suppose tonight is as good a time as any. Will you be all right?
I think so. I have a dinner engagement with the French ambassador. Wise men and fools playing love's game, when to deceive sweet reason.
Have you seen the figures for St. Louis, Mr. Goldsmith? Sold out 2 months before she ever sets foot in the town. I tell you, sir, I'm selling you a songbird that lays golden eggs.
Oh, I know that, Mr. Barnum. In fact, you might say I knew that before you did.
That's why I'm making you such a generous deal. Only one proviso. If Miss Lind ever plays Bridgeport, you'd better not sell me any tickets. Done?
Done.
Love makes such fools of us.
Charity, Barnum, what are you doing here?
It came up heads, Taylor, and I still think you're beautiful. My way this time, Taylor.
Your way.
Out of the main tent, away from the fairgrounds, without the benefit of Kelly Green, Buttercup Yellow, or Cherry Red. The Bridgeport Grand Opera and Pageant Society presents Mr. P.T. Barnum as he lives his life in
Black and white, the future's rosy, living black and white. Keep both feet on that ground. Don't let those daydreams spin you round. See things the way they are. You're gonna tumble if you fly too far. Stay low and hold on tight, living black and white.
May the 7th, 1851, day of days for Bridgeport's favorite song. Living Wales he sent to Hades, likewise Swedish singing ladies, and the local clockworks he would run. Ryno clockworks Barnum found. In 2 months he'd run it in the ground. Purchased then 500 shovels. Said men mustn't live in
it started dawn. Black and white, he built a city that was black and white. The towers scraped the sky. The church was 7 stories high. Each brick so neatly stacked, and only one of them was slightly cracked. Alas, as luck would run, 'twas a bottom one. The north wind blew one night.
Oh, Taylor, are you all right?
What's happening here?
I don't know. Oh, my goodness.
Bye-bye, black and white. Oh, yeah.
Barnum City fell down, what a fix. Nothing but a pile of broken bricks. Not to worry, not to care, sir, with your talent for hot air, sir.
What you ought to be in politics. You could be an elder and no wait.
No wait.
Congressman, I mean, you must not stay.
No stay.
Mayor, senator, what's the difference?
Why not let our presidential say? Black and white. It's way in politics, the black and white.
Here's my stand on women's rights. I'm for slavery in any form that may. Taxes have to be increased to give to those who had the least. Tobacco, I would ban as of today. Folks, I'm talking to you. Can't you hear me? I'm campaigning for the good of the community, not just for myself, but for us. Believe me, folks, you've got to believe me. Chairy, I'm losing them. Chairy, you've got to let me bring some color into this campaign or they're going to beat me. Chairy, I beg you. You've got to release me from my promise.
Very well, Taylor. Go right ahead.
See the difference, honey? Hey, you will make such a difference. Thank you so much. It's nice to have you in my life. Thank you. All right, there you go, sir. One up from there. One up, B.G. Barnum. One up, Wynter. One up, Barnum. B.G. Barnum, you're friendly there. Thank you, man. So nice to meet you. Thank you so much. B.G. Barnum is best. Vote for Barnum.
Black and white. He's had his fill of every black and white. So long, ta-ta, good night. Bye, 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 black and
Black and white, he's had his fill of living black and white. So long, ta-ta, good night. Bye-bye, black and white. Outside the tent, after the show, behind the scenes, beneath the makeup.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do, Chairy, sweetheart. I'm gonna build us a house way high up on that hill, far away
Just
from
a minute,
every...
Taylor.
You all right?
Yes. I just need to rest a moment.
It's that damn campaign. You're just worn out. Here. Come and sit down here on these steps a while.
On the steps of the city hall.
It's illegal.
Oh, is it now? Well, that'll be my first job as mayor. Get a law passed that all elected officials with beautiful wives can get to rest on the steps of the city hall as long as I'm in office. So there. Easy. There. Is that better?
Thank you very much, Mayor Barnum.
You're entirely welcome, Mrs. Barnum. Well, it sure is an impressive place, isn't it?
It's the most respectable-looking building I've ever seen. And it belongs to you now.
You know, Chairy, seeing you smiling here in the dark reminds me of that first night we met in that thunderstorm. Now, I know you were scared, right? But I kept wishing there'd be more lightning so I could get another look at your face.
And I shut my eyes every time that lightning flashed. So I never did get a good look at you until we were standing at the altar. And by then, it was too late.
Easy, Chairy. Easy.
Taylor, stop it. Folks will think we're foolish. Two old people sitting on these steps in the middle of the night, holding hands.
Hey, who says we're old? I may have a few laugh lines and one or two gray hairs, but you don't look a day older than when I first met you.
I thought you were through with humbug.
Oh, 22 or 3 at the most. That's the least humbugging thing I ever said in my life.
Oh, you're gonna be wonderful in politics, Taylor. Of course, I don't expect you to be mayor more than one term. I've already got my eye on a Senate seat. And not the state Senate either.
Chairy, you're talking about Washington.
Ed says you can do it, Taylor.
No, just hold it 1 second there. You don't go tossing a coin on whether or not to run for the U.S. Senate. Oh, sir. That takes pondering, considering, contemplation. How come in 25 years of tossing that there coin, it never once came up tails?
I guess fate was just on my side, Taylor. That, and the fact that this coin just happens to have 2 heads.
What? Is that the truth? Charity Barnum, you stacked the deck on me.
I haven't been watching you for 25 years for nothing, Taylor.
Well, I'll be... All right. All right, Mrs. Barnum, I'll run for your damn Senate. You know why? Because I love you and I'd do anything in the world to make you happy. But you humbugged me good and proper, Mrs. Barnum, and I am most displeased. Most displeased. Her own husband. 25 years. I can hardly believe that. Both sides. Feel such a ninny. Why are you smiling?
Everything's going to be all right. We're quarreling again. The colors of my life.
The colors of my life
are softer than a breeze.
Are bountiful and bold. The purple glow of indigo.
The silver gray of eiderdown.
The gleam of green and gold.
The dappled green of trees.
The splendor of a sun.
The amber of a wheat field.
The dazzle of a flame.
The hazel of a sea.
The glory of a rainbow.
The crystal of a raindrop.
I'd put 'em all to shame.
Are all I'll ever need.
No quiet browns and grays.
Your reds are much too bold.
I'll take my days instead.
Gold I find no worth.
And fill them till they overflow.
I'll fill my days with sage
with
and
rose and cherry red.
The colors of the earth.
And if from by my side my love should
the colors of my life will shine a quiet light to lead you. Oh,
Chairy. Chairy. Chairy!
On behalf of the party, Mr. Barnum, may I say how sorry we are.
She stood beside me for so long. Right when we're on the threshold. I don't want you boys to worry. Because during this campaign, I'm going to be stronger than ever. We worked a long time for this nomination, and it's an election I don't plan to lose.
Mr. Barnum, I'm afraid there's been a slight postponement on your nomination.
What?
What Mr. Templeton is trying to say is that the party's position has changed.
We're giving the nomination to Alexander Whittaker.
What are you saying? What are you telling me? We've been barnstorming for the past 6 months on the strength of your promise that I would have that nomination.
The decision's out of our hands, Mr. Barnum.
But in 4 years...
4 years?
You'll be a prime candidate.
I don't want the nomination in 4 years. I promised somebody I'd be in Washington by January, and if I can't be there then, I don't want to be there at all. Good day.
But, Mr. Barnum...
Good day, gentlemen. They took me, Chairy. They took me. 6 months of making speeches. Take that nomination away from me with a lie, worse than any humbugging I ever pulled on anyone in 35 years of fooling people. Well, thought I got it out of my system, but I was wrong. Because it looks like if I don't humbug them, they're sure going to do worse to me. Tell me, Chairy. Tell the truth now. Is humbugging really so bad? After all, look at Abraham Lincoln back in '61. He was humbugged with a vision of a whole society of free and equal people. And that dream was strong enough to win him a war. Not that I'm comparing four-headed frogs and mermaids to the Gettysburg Address, but you got to admit that somewhere way down deep there has to be a connection. How do you like that? 2 minutes up here on this soapbox, and already I'm convinced I'm second cousins to Abraham Lincoln. Well, darn it, Chairy, don't that prove it? At humbugging, I'm the best there is. The Prince of Humbug. Balderdash. Fiddle-faddle, dribble-tosh, twiddle-twaddle, blather-bosh, bilge and dodge and double-dutch and flim-flam. I am the king of hogwash, tommy-rot, jibber-jabber-blabber-bluff, hocus-pocus, gabble-guff, scam and sham, and just a touch of white lie am I.
Duke of tripe and idle chat, Earl of Oil, Lord of Blacks, Emperor of Rigmarole, then I am bless my soul, the Prince of Humbug, Poppycock, Piffle waffle patter junk, hokum hooey chatterbunk, wile and guile and trumpery, that's me. Oh, don't worry, Chairy. I'm not going back into the exhibition business. What I was thinking about was a lecture tour. Tell the whole country about the noble art of humbug. And who's got a better right to talk about it than me? After all, it's the thing God gave me the gift for. It's how I got everything I ever had. Even you, Chairy. Even you. In a world of sting and shock, this moment we spend down a road of ridge and rock toward Lord knows what end. Through a night as dark as space and cold as the sea. Someone's got to make it right. Shoot a rocket, shine a light. Tell you that someone's gonna be the Prince of Humbug. Tongue-in-cheek, shilly-shally, purple wool, baloney, bogus, cock and bull, hoax and prank and hanky-pank and some skullduggery. I am, and damn, I'll always be. Yeah!
The main event, the greatest contest of them all. P.T. Barnum, unarmed, alone, without a net, in his struggle to the finish, with destiny. Bailey's the name, Mr. Barnum, and I'm here for my 3:30 appointment.
Oh, yes, Mr. Bailey. Yes, well, I've given the matter a great deal of thought. My answer is no.
But, Mr. Barnum, I sent those plans and photographs last week. Didn't you get a chance to see them?
Yes, I saw the photographs. Your menagerie looks very good, but I've been out of the exhibition business for years now. I've been giving lecture tours. Of course, if you wouldn't mind a little advice.
Why, I'd welcome it.
You've got to hook your ideas to the mood of the nation. It's 1880, right?
Right.
With President Grant in the White House, people are widening their horizons, broadening their outlooks. Now, your show looks good, but it's too small. You need 10 elephants, 20 clowns, fat ladies, acrobats, bareback riders, a whole family of jugglers, 6 persons up on the high wire.
But that's impossible. You couldn't get all those acts into one ring.
You put on a couple more rings, one either side. You need a band of 40 pieces. A whole separate tent just for sideshows. Not to mention traveling grandstands you can put up and take down to seat. Who knows, 5,000, 10,000 people? Yeah, you need a special train with 2 locomotives and 60 carriages and enough canvas to put the entire Crystal Palace inside and still have enough room left over to fly a kite.
The Crystal Palace? Well, Mr. Barnum, I hope I'm not being humbugged.
Mr. Bailey, whatever gave you that idea?
Well, I must admit, it does sound good the way you tell it, but you've got to help me.
Out of the question.
But look, I need you. The circus needs you.
No.
When the pill the doctor gave you turns you cold to the grip. When a stitch to save 9 others comes up hard with a rip. When the rats invade your attic and start leaving your ship. Follow my tip, come away on a trip. Just join the circus like you wanted to when you were a kid. Climb aboard before it moves on, and you'll thank your lucky stars you did. Go to Minneapolis, where's Duncan's PA. Have your brush and your comb again, ready to roam again, ready to stray. Bless your soul, you'll never go home again.
I got blood pressure problems.
When the circus comes your way. Step right in here, sir.
Mr. Bailey, I suggest you try somebody who knows something about the circus.
When your patches in your trousers and a hole in your purse. When your 9 to 5 is boring and your 5 to 9's worse. When you sneeze instead of bless you, you get chilled on a curve.
Young lady, please behave yourself.
church.
Why you still got the church? Just join the circus like you wanted to when you were so high. It's your trouble under a tent and you're bound to lose up by and by.
What's going on here?
Take so long
Will you let me out of here? You some kind of tiger?
Sweet set out there.
Oh, Rich!
Toss your hat.
This is assault, you know. This is tantamount to assault.
Shoulder your pack and then hitch up the shade. Kiss the cat and never look back again.
The cat?
When the circus comes your way.
Mr. Bailey, your friends are very persuasive, but I'm out of the exhibition business right now. Thank you.
When the lady you've been courting weds your brother instead. When his honor gives you 30 days on water and bread. When your bank account's $1 million, but it's all in the red. Don't lose your head, pin this note to the bed. I've joined the circus like I wanted to when I was a kid.
No, wait!
Lined aboard before we moved on, and you bet your life I'm glad I
Mr. Bailey,
did.
listen, I want to check.
When till then it's
Stop
been
throwing me around.
out in the air.
Put me down, please. I don't like this.
Have my rope, my brush, and my comb again, ready to roam again, ready to stray. Bless my soul, I'll never go home again.
Father will miss you.
When the circus comes my way, go slowly start to my circus, circus. Just to say the word, electrify circus, circus. Watch that tiger shaking hands like a puppet. That lady dancing on the wire 1,000,000 miles up there.
Be careful.
Bouncing up painted cars down Railroad Avenue, circus, circus. Tilting pace, what say you're going to circus, circus. Share the glad times and the woe with us. Have your trot and join the show with us. Roll from Maine to Kokomo with us. Mr. Barnum, say you'll go with us.
All right, damn it. Why don't we leave it up to the fates? Heads, it's yes. Tails, it's no. Mr. Bailey, you've got yourself a partner.
Yeah! To the biggest show in the country.
To the greatest show on earth.
When the circus comes your way.
hat's my goal, my brush is my comb again, ready to roam again, ready to spray. Life's my song, I'll never go home again. From the day I joined the circus. Be proud to say you joined the circus. Step right this way and join the circus. Just stick a banner in your hand. Hey, join the circus like you wanted to, like you always wanted to run.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Join the circus like you wanted to when you were a kid. Climb aboard before it moves on, and you'll thank your lucky stars you did. Go to Minneapolis, wait up in the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest show on earth is proud to present to your left, Madam Francesca, who will swallow 2 flaming torches as she leaps to the circle of fire. To your right, Senor Canniballini, the amazing human cannibal. And right now, the keeper of the king of the jungle, Prince Anton Vladimirovich and his royal African lions, plus the internationally celebrated sisters of the high wire, the daring and dynamic duo, the lovely Lola and Lisa. And in the center ring, the greatest spectacle of them all, the world-renowned Barnum and Bailey Elephant Parade!
And in the center ring, a princely final attraction, Mr. Phineas Taylor Barnum himself.
Of course, that was a long time ago. Old Joice Heth is gone and forgotten. So's the American Museum and the great white whale. Dear Jenny Lind, and my brave Tom Thumb. George Washington's a memory. Those Pilgrim Fathers that came over on the Mayflower have all gone to dust. So my kind of humbugs disappeared. That's a pity. There was a sucker born every minute. Each time that second hand swept to the top like dandelions, up they pop. Their ears so